Today I'd like to take a moment to glorify obesity.
I think that if you were really concerned about glorifying obesity, you would take yourself off the air.
But I'm not obese.
Period.
It's just a statistical medical fact.
You're fat, though.
I'm not medical. I'm not even fat.
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy. And I am 100% glorifying obesity. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm a fat pig.
Fat. What does it mean? Or better yet, what does it represent? This term has been thrown around, twisted, and redefined for decades. Whatever you do, please do not look up fat in the Urban Dictionary because you will be shocked and disgusted by the results. Body weight in general has always been such a huge problem for society. No matter how big or small you are, the world will truly never accept you for how you look. And of course, a really huge problem we've always been facing is fat shaming, otherwise known as making fun of someone's appearance because they're not a size 2, or maybe they're bigger than the rest of the group. Whatever the case may be, it's disgusting and no one should ever be treated like that. Time and time in the TV and entertainment world, we see scenes that always give the bigger person the ugly and undesirable role. They always put the people with the same body type together. They always have to make humorous jokes at the bigger person's expense. But as the years progressed, society did become, as the teens would say, more woke, and fat shaming kind of became more or less prevalent. We started to see a lot more body positivity movements, more people just being able to walk the runway. Being a skinny legend isn't the only type of beauty anymore. Nowadays, it's being pushed that any and every body is beautiful. The fat acceptance movement has been another way for people who are overweight to cope and find a community that they feel welcomed in. This movement was created by people who are from different backgrounds and education levels that question the health and information and reports about obesity. The goal of this movement was to seek a different definition and meaning of being quote-unquote fat. People who felt ashamed and targeted wanted to accept their body for what it is and live a life of confidence. The quote fatosphere community was created from this. It's basically a digital community where people come together to feel accepted or fulfill their sense of belonging. And this is happening within multiple communities. There is literally a community called Fat Mermaids where people are coming together and celebrating the fact that they don't look like the average mermaid you see at events or movies, and they're still beautiful regardless. But of course, when you give people an inch, they take a mile. Not only do people want you to accept the obesity positivity movement, they want you to glorify it. People always do this. They start with a reasonable claim or movement, then just take it to the extreme and blow it out of proportion. The truth is, there's really nothing wrong with being thin or fat. You can be any size you want as long as your weight isn't posing any health problems. Because who am I to determine how big or small you have to be in order to be accepted? It only becomes a problem when the weight you are at is causing health problems or putting you at some type of risk. And when you do become so big that you are obese or morbidly obese, you are undoubtedly at risk for so many health problems, which is why glorifying obesity is a horrible thing to do. Look at the show My 600-Pound Life. This is a series that follows the lives of people who are seeking help because they're morbidly obese to the point where they can't even get out of the bed by themselves. Someone has to help them wipe their bottom, and they're growing huge masses on their bodies. Every single person that has made an appearance on the show is completely miserable, and so many people from that show have passed away due to them being obese. When you are overweight, period, you are now at risk of things like high blood pressure, heart attack, strokes, and about 50 other things. In general, your quality of life can and will be shortened by so many years. Like, how many times have you heard of an overweight or underweight person dying at an early age? Yet there are still thousands of people on TikTok that are trying to get everyone to glorify obesity. Why would you glorify something that's extremely bad and deadly to you? Now, like I said, again, if you're a little bit more bigger than the average person, but you're still healthy and taking care of yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. We can't all be the same exact body type. All it comes down to is you being healthy. And generally speaking, most morbidly obese people tend to eat unhealthy. I'm talking sugary and high calorie foods, fried foods, things of that nature. And you know, of course, those things are horrible for you. There was this documentary styled video where this guy named Morgan had to eat McDonald's for like 30 days straight, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I believe. He was throwing up, having stomach aches and headaches, was going through a depression. I remember being just so disgusted watching that video. In modern day society, they put all of these chemicals and ingredients in the food that we consume that are absolutely detrimental to us. And a lot of things like that is in fast food. Of course, he gained a lot of weight, which is a perfect example of unhealthy weight gain, which is terrible for you. There has also been a rise of doing what's called mukbangs on YouTube or social media, and it's basically when you get in front of a camera and eat a lot of food, healthy or unhealthy, but most of the time it is unhealthy. A lot of people on YouTube literally have accounts dedicated to doing mukbangs, and one YouTuber who is heavily known for doing this is Nikocado Avocado. This YouTuber is constantly gorging down on heaps and heaps of unhealthy food, and last time I saw one of his videos, he was currently making it his goal to gain as much weight as possible. When I see people like this, it just makes me extremely sad because this is what society has become, especially in America. Americans shoving disgusting food down our throats and making a mockery out of it. And at the time of making this video, I actually went back on his channel and discovered that he is currently embarking on like a little bit of a weight loss journey, which is super cool. And I really hope he succeeds, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Yes, we have the right to eat and make whatever content we want, but that doesn't always mean that that's what's best for us. When I see the comments on social media of people saying things like, oh, you're fat, go eat a salad, you know, things like that are obviously extremely rude and cruel, and that's not what I'm saying to do. But I'm not going to sit here and say things like gain as much weight as you can. There's a big difference between body positivity and glorifying a certain body type, which in this case it would be glorifying obesity. Like, I get it, we've come such a long way. Time after time, all we've seen for representation of bodies is the same thin, malnourished Barbie and a sickly, thin model. The main character is never plus sized. It's always the side character or the antagonist. Bigger people are always under extreme scrutiny for just being them. So I'm all for the acceptance of all bodies. But I draw the line when you get to the point of, because of all the weight you're gaining, you're putting yourself at risk for multiple health problems. Everyone deserves to be confident in themselves and accept them for the way that they are, while also being open to striving for improvements. Because improvements in diet and exercising not only affect you as a person, but also people around you, like your friends and family. Setting a healthy example for, let's say, if you have a child, will always, of course, be the right thing to do. Society should foster a culture where different body shapes and sizes are embraced, while health is also considered. People should be accepted for who they are and not judged solely based on appearance. We need to realize that there is not just one body type that's just perfect and amazing and is the goal to be. Because of course we all have different bodies. But one thing for sure is that we should encourage ourselves to try to live our best lives, including mentally and physically. Overall, I think glorifying anything isn't healthy, especially when whatever you're glorifying is putting your life at risk. Hopefully people didn't see this video as me putting anyone down or shaming anyone for the body that you have. Like I always say, everyone's beautiful in their own way. And of course, I would never try to degrade anyone based upon their looks. Please leave comments down below. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Of course, I upload every single week, so I'll be back next week for my next video. All right, bye guys.